What's going on, everyone? Johnny B. Crazy here, and let's talk about the newest episode of Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 4, The Last of the Starks. And I thought this was the strongest episode of the season, but hey, everyone has the right to their own opinion. Let's start it off. They even mourned separately in the beginning here, and I do think this is a definite representation that even after the end of the world has been defeated, they still can't get along. We've seen this. Dany is very envious of Jon at this point. Jon is the hero, mainly because he's male. Is it wrong? Yes, but Dany has to understand that the North just doesn't blindly follow people. Now, they should definitely be more appreciative of her, but logically they're going to go for Jon. At this point, she makes this great political play by making Gendry a Baratheon and raising him up to Storm's End. He is a lord now. What is messed up about this is he goes and immediately proposes to Arya, but that's not her. She has aspirations. You know, she is an assassin at heart, and maybe she will die that way. The throne has seemingly poisoned Dany's mind at this point, and all she can think about is what happens to the throne. She has this lust for power. The throne seemingly corrupts all who covet it, and she wants Jon to not say anything about his heritage. You know, Jon is basically George Washington. He cannot tell a lie, even though that's a myth. But Jon kind of stays true to his word. He wants to bend to Daenerys' will. And whom is manipulating whom, actually? This is more Dany leading Jon around. I almost hope Jon kind of snaps out of it because it's hard to watch. He's wrapped around Dany's finger, and they know, you know, he is in love with Dany. How much does Dany love him? I don't think it's more than the throne, and we will see that later. And when Jon is about to tell Arya and Sansa, Bran says it's his choice. This makes me think that Bran knows he was going to say it anyway and wants this out. He doesn't think Dany may be a good ruler, and maybe he's even putting Jon on the throne. I would argue that Jon may not even be the best ruler. He's a good ruler, a good man, but how effective would he actually be on the Iron Throne? Because he's not going to be happy. He may be a little more like Aegon III, basically just being depressed to death. And it's hard to watch. That's why I think it's going to be Sansa and Tyrion on the throne. I call it now. Sansa, did she betray Jon? Yes, but she betrayed Jon for the safety of her family. And that's key here. That's something she's learned. She's learned from Cersei. She's learned from Littlefinger. And she wouldn't take it back for anything in the world. She tells the Hound this, which is a good little meeting. It shows how much she has changed and how much the Hound hasn't changed. The Hound is the same damn person with one thing on his mind now, right? And with that, the Hound and Arya go off back to King's Landing. The Hound has his eyes set on his brother. Arya, her eyes are set on Cersei. I do think Arya and the Hound will both fight the Mountain. I don't think Arya is going to get a chance to kill Cersei, but we'll see. This brings me back to the point. Arya's lust for revenge may just end up being the death of her. She's already killed the Night King. You better not get greedy, Arya. Ha! But back to Sansa. I believe she's stuck there feeling helpless. She's gonna try to help Jon in any way possible. She may even gather what forces she can. We could have Sansa reaching out to other vassal lords. We just don't know at this point, but I do feel like she isn't gonna sit back. She is gonna go forward and try to help her brother. Men in her family don't do well down there, and I don't think she's just gonna sit on her hands. We might even see Tormund come with them. Like, think about this. Brienne has been left by the love of her life. It is super tragic how Jaime left her. He did it the same way that Arya did to Nymeria. He basically hit Brienne in the face with a rock. And I think he's doing this out of love. This may be the most selfless act that Jaime has ever committed. Brienne's not just going to sit there and wait for the love of her life to possibly die. She will back Sansa's plan for whatever she's going to do. Whether it be gather a small force to try to take Cersei unawares. Whether Jon gets captured, you know, she may even just send a team of people. You do have Tormund, Ghost, Brienne. Yeah, maybe they'll go north of the wall, but it seems a little convenient that they're all just being left there. What Sam and Gilly are going to do, I think Sam is going to be Bran's compass, and that's where we're going to go from here. Bran has been in the past, I honestly think he's been watching the reigns of kings to see what personality traits, or if there's ever been a good Targaryen king, if there's ever been one without mental illness maybe. And there are people out there that I've heard, maybe even John Del Vento, what's up buddy, says that Bran may just sit the Iron Throne. I don't think so, but hey, I say anything's possible, just go for it. I'm not going to crush anybody's dreams here. I feel like Brienne will feel honor bound to try to save Jaime, and at least honor bound to do whatever Sansa, I guess, asks of her, because there's no way Sansa's just sitting at Winterfell. It's not happening. Jon, next episode's going to show up. I feel like Jon's going to do something stupid and try to treat with the people. Jon's going to try to stop the burning of King's Landing. Dany looks like she's going to be retreated or resignated to Dragonstone. Now yes, Missandei's last words to her, Dracarys, I feel like that was a request. Please burn this awful city down with these awful people, is how Missandei was probably feeling at that point. But it goes back to Euron. This is a very, very strong foe who, possibly from information given to him by a little bird, he knew where Dany was going and their movements at this point. We already know that Qyburn has little birds in Winterfell. The death of her dragon, the death of Missandei, Dany has lost everything in her life that she's loved and worked for, and she's watching the throne slip through her fingers because she doesn't have the birthright anymore, and she's scared. She doesn't have the love of the people yet. She could still get it, but this is gonna send her into a state of despair, almost like Rhaenyra Targaryen from the Dance of Dragons. She didn't trust anyone around her. You have Varys and Tyrion. Varys is already plotting to put Jon on the throne and take Dany out. Varys sees the Mad King Aerys II in Dany. He's not going to let it happen again. He is for the people, or so he says. The men, women, and children that make up the entire realm, Varys is actually looking out for them. Whereas Dany is only thinking about revenge and the throne now. The people in King's Landing are in peril. All in all, I really thought this was a good episode, and they have, just like I thought, the long night is over and the Game of Thrones has begun again. Many and more things are happening. What is Grey Worm gonna do? Are Arya and the Hound going to be successful? Is Brienne gonna go after Jaime? Will Sansa try to help Jon in some form? Tell me what you think in the comments, because I really love this episode, and I'll be breaking down more stuff from it and this season of Game of Thrones on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Check it out, Nooners of Ice and Fire, also Nooners of Thrones every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you'll see some quickies of Ice and Fire, and I've definitely got some videos this week for this episode. So thank you so much for watching, and a special shout out to all my patrons. Much love. Y'all really helped me more than you could ever know. Amy True, Anime Lover Nicole, Bobby Catalano, Catherine Cronin, Catherine Harding, Clarissa Thompson, Dornish Dan, hashtag Jose Martel, John St. Baptiste, Dark Mother, Katrin C from My Point of View, and Nancy T. Thank y'all so much for watching. Leave any comments that you would like below, and early access. Thank you so much for watching. This is Johnny Be Crazy, signing off.